Hi everyone, this is Montana's Flintlocks. We're going to be going on a video series adventure here and building some flintlocks, at least one for sure. Just a little bit about myself. I enjoy flintlocks going back to when I was a kid, and I watched the Davy Crockett series on Disney Channel, so even then I had a fascination with flintlocks. I haven't built any before. I've watched lots of videos on YouTube about it, read some books about it, but I do have a couple kits that I got that hopefully over the next few months we'll put together, and we'll do a little shop tour here and just kind of show everybody my little corner of the garage. Well, everyone's probably wondering what this is all about. I introduce you to Mr. Not Green. He's my quirky screwdriver that I use in the shop. The reason why he's called that is because I always get my orange and greens mixed up. So just for fun, we've called him Mr. Not Green instead of orange. So welcome to Mr. Not Green, and he's going to be in all my videos in his little spot over here. All right, so just a little bit of a shop tour. My trusty manual here. Hopefully we'll have some tips that I can learn from here, but obviously most of my work's going to be completely new to me. So if you guys see me making mistakes or have any tips, please let me know. Just have some of my antique tools that I've spent some time restoring. I won't be using all of them, but you know, some of them I might end up using. I have a jig here that I made to help with holding the trigger guards and other attachment pieces. You got our mallets. This one I turned on the lathe myself there. Got chisels. I have a rest here that I made to hold the barrel of the rifle, or the forestock, I guess, when it's resting out there. It's another little tool that I made to help get the drill points on both sides of the rifle together. Obviously, the vise here made a stand that I can raise up and down. It'll help with the stock at the back and support it. Lots of needle files to help with some of the fine work. Various screws and bits and bobs that I'll use to attach things to. Of course, all my hardware pieces, my tang bolts and lock pieces, some little pieces there, and then of course some small little vices here. I have a frizz and spring vise just to help take the lock apart. So yeah, nothing fancy, but it'll do. I have lots of tools and things that I think will help out. And a nice little corner to work. All right, let's have a look at the first of the two kits that I have, and then at the end of the video we'll talk about the one that I'm going to work on first. So this kit is from Pecatonica Rifle in Illinois. So they were really nice and helpful with me on the phone and picking out the things that I needed, make sure. Obviously I don't have a lot of experience with making flintlocks at all, so it was a good opportunity for me to talk to someone that obviously has a lot more experience. This is a Jaeger rifle, the 30-inch barrel, or 31. It's a rice barrel, swamped, 58 caliber. It's got the barrel pins already installed for me. Just one less thing that I have to try to work. It's got dovetails already set for the front sight and the rear sight. And of course the breech plug is already in place. And this should have a pretty good punch to it once it gets put together. Now we can talk a little bit about some inspiration for this gun. This is an original Jaeger rifle. I think I picked this as a bit of an example that I'd like to try and follow. So in the end, at least the carving and some of the layout here is something that I'd like to try and stick to. It's a slightly different lock on this original, but we're going to be using this German Seiler lock. It's quite a nice one. I got this one from an auction. It's already been nicely finished, and it's sparks great. A nice sound. Strong springs. So this should give us a nice start to this flintlock. This lock will. So some other parts to get overview. So some of the carving on the forestock we're going to do, it's got a nose cap. So we do have a steel nose cap, and there's no brass fittings on this rifle. I'm going to make a patch box. This one hasn't had one pre-carved, but we'll try to put one together. So this is the entry pipe thimble, and then we have two other thimbles here. We'll have to finish those and inlet them. The trigger guard is slightly different, but I do have a Jaeger style steel or iron trigger guard, so very similar, but we'll finish that. We have double set triggers, just like in this original. And then we've got some sights, front and rear, Jaeger sights. And this one obviously has a very fancy side plate, but we're gonna go with just a more simple steel side plate. And there's some nice carving on the stock there that isn't too complicated, I think. And then the patch box as well is, I think, doable. And then the butt plate, slightly more rounded with a bit more of a lip, but still a straight back. The nice bit of decoration at the top. And then we have the nose cap there at the front. So this is going to be my inspiration for this gun. And we'll try and take parts of it. It's not going to be an exact copy, but we'll have a lot of things that are based on it. The stock itself, it's made of walnut. It's got a nice thick neck here, like a lot of Jaegers. It does have a flat bottom. It has a nice cheek rest. It did unfortunately have a little bit of damage. It looks like the barrel inside, when it was in transit, kind of damaged it. But measuring the butt plate against the gun there, there's gonna be some room at the bottom to take off, so that's not gonna affect us in any way. ramrod channel has all been done. And the lock itself has been mostly inlet. We'll need to do some finishing work, but give a small idea of how it'll look. And the barrel channel has been inlet as well. I'd like to do some fine tuning of that, but other than that, hopefully this will come together reasonably well. So not quite as easy to put together as a Kibler kit, obviously. Some of these parts will need a fair bit of fitting and putting together, but I like that I get a chance to do a bit more of that work and learn along the way. So this is the first kit. And the second kit that we have here is also from Pecatonica rifle. It's a custom kind of stock that I got. It's a helmet Moore stock. So it's a very specific type of stock that's for a Jaeger. It's also going to be a Jaeger. But slightly different cheek piece. It's also walnut. I like a nice dark kind of rifle. The barrel channel. It's all been in pre-inlet. Barrel channel as well. And for this, we're going to use an L&R lock. I think this is the Queen Anne lock, I think. But I think L&R makes a pretty decent lock. This one's unfinished, so this lock would need some work, fine tuning and polishing. Unlike the other one, which was already previous owner had already made and finished. So rice barrel as well. This one's a Jaeger 50 caliber swamped barrel pins, or not the pins, but the lugs for them are already on there. Dovetails for the front and rear sight as well. It's a nice barrel. 50 caliber, it's a little bit heavier than the 58, but a bit more standard ammunition, I think. It's a lot more 50 cal. So this one's gonna have brass hardware. Side plate and a guard. So this is considered a bit more of a transition Jaeger. So it has some more North American styles to it. We have nose cap. It's got a set trigger as well, but this one's slightly different. It should fit nicely in this trigger guard here. Some room at the front to get a gloved finger inside. And the butt plate for this, brass as well. A bit more squared off, but quite a flat back, which is very much the Jaeger style. I'll probably put a patch box on this one as well. I have the patch box spring. And this one, I'm gonna try and use my inspiration off this original. So this one has a similar lock, similar trigger guard, simple sort of side carving. Got quite a nice narrowing here around the stock there where your hand goes. Simple carving, simple patch box, but still nice. Bit more of an elaborate carving on the stock there, but we'll see. We'll see if we'll be able to see if we can copy that a little bit. Test out my carving skills, which I don't know if I have any. And then just the front, the nose cap on this I think is horn, but we're gonna use the brass one. A little bit of carving. The entry for the ramrod there. And then a nice brass side plate. This original has some really nice inscription on the barrel at the top. I don't think I'll be able to do that unless I send it off somewhere. So there you have it. Those are the two kits. So I think decided on which one I want to do first. I think I'd like to do the original kit that I showed you at the beginning. We'll save this one with the brass for the second go around. And we'll do this one first. It's got a beautiful lock. I do love this lock. So there you have it. Hopefully we'll have some fun and we'll be able to find time to work on this over the course of the winter here and maybe learn something along the way, and maybe you out there can teach me a few things as well.